Blessed love, do give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Give thanks for your presence with us. Of course, you know you are in the tiger's nest. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you. And what we will be doing today, I'm just preparing you for our upcoming lectures, which will be 3 dynamic lectures during the so-called Yuletide season. And the main one that I'm focusing on today is the fairy tale, folly days, and nursery crimes, the firing squad edition. And of course, you may be saying, but I thought this video had to do with paper and the origin of paper and the word read, etc., etc. Well, really, that's what it's all about. So I'm trying to show you now how the subliminal science is involved with the etymology of the terms that we use today. For example, paper and read, etc., etc., etc. And that is like a foundation for going into the fairy tale, folly days, and nursery crimes science. So if we can cover it now, when we get there Wednesday evening in the lecture hall, and even Thursday when we slice down Mr. Fraud, Santa Fraud, I mean, we will already be equipped with certain knowledge and understanding. Because remember the subliminal message. It's the science of the sublime. The term sub alone shows you it has to do with going below, you know, like a submarine that submerges, you know, goes under. So the message is like an undertone, something you got to, you know, read between the lines, as they like to say. So the powers now, in this sense, we're dealing with the powers of words. The words, remember, words are swords. Words are swords. This is why when you look at the word words, W-O-R-D-S, words, if you take the S from the end and you put it at the beginning, you get the word sword. Just like even in the Bible, Christ shall return with a two-edged sword in his mouth. And with this sword, he shall smite the wicked. So the sword in his mouth is the words that he would speak. That's why when the emperor addressed the League of Nations in 1936 on the 30th day of June, you know, he smite the nations with the words that was in his mouth, the sword that was in the mouth of the living God. So this is just a bit of etymology there, just showing you how it works with the science thereof. So in the same way now, it is obvious. Just look at the history of it. The papyrus plant. You know, the papyrus plant is where you get what we call paper. So it's obvious you could see the connection with the term papyrus and paper right away. You know, when you look at the other language, Spanish, you see the expression papel. Papel means paper. Not too bilingual, myself, you know, but I know that for sure. Papel is paper in Spanish. Papel, paper, papyrus. I'm just going to read something quickly here on the papyrus sedge, the Cyperus papyrus, also known as papyrus sedge, or also called papyrus reed or paper reed, Indian matin plant, or Nile grass, is a species of aquatic flowering plant belonging to the sedge family, Cyperaceae. I hope I pronounced that correctly, you know. It is a tender herbaceous, perennial native to Africa. All right, I'm telling you. And forms tall stands of reed-like swamp vegetation in shallow waters. Okay, and then it goes on to speak of the papyrus sedge being used for a very long time historically by humans, notably the ancient people of Kemet, which is the ancient Egyptians. It also highlights is the source of the papyrus paper, etc., etc. All of those botanical terms here. I hope I did justice to them. The family of the Cyperaceae.
Cyperaceae. TA.
Okay, all right. And it is a tender herbaceous. That's how you pronounce this.
Herbaceous.
Herbaceous. Okay, perfect. Give thanks.
Herbaceous.
Yeah, just gotta get some editing there so we could be official to do justice to the plant. So yeah, so basically the reed plant again, you know, or from the family of the reed plant, here stands the papyrus. And again, this is the origin. You see the papyrus on the River Nile, the papyrus plant. This is from ancient time. This is where we would take this plant and create paper. So don't mind them trying to give the credit to India or China or wherever. They're trying to give the credit for the origin of paper. It is in ancient Kemet where we first created the writing material. Even before we created the writing material, we were already writing on the walls. You understand? Even before other people knew what writing was, we were writing on the walls of Kemet. And then we said, hey, we want to write on something a little more, you know what I mean, durable and like a light so you can carry it over here and carry it over there instead of all these rocks and blocks and these things. And we created paper from the papyrus, the papyrus plant, and that's just a fact. So it's obvious, family. I'm just showing you how the etymology goes. Etymology is the study of words, in the same way people will tell you, well, this word comes from the Latin word so-and-so, and that word comes from the Latin word so-and-so. Well, paper comes from that word papyrus or papyri, you know, in plural form, whatever the case is. Now, what I'm showing to you now on another level is that if you notice the papyrus plant, which is paper, the same plant they used to make paper, where the word comes from paper, papel. The papyrus plant is of the family known as the reed family of plants. The reed family of plants, R-E-E-D, reed. Now, this is interesting because obviously papyrus is paper. You write on the paper, the information on the paper. For you to take the information off of the paper, you have to read the paper. You know, that's how you transfer the knowledge off of the paper into your cranium, into your brain, into your mind. You read it. That's why reading is knowledge and knowledge is power, etc. So it is interesting, and this is not R-E-E-D read. This is R-E-A-D read. And this same R-E-A-D read, depending on how it is read, it is spelled it is pronounced red. R-E-A-D read is sometimes R-E-A-D red. You better know how you read it. You understand? Just like R-E-D red. Now, listen to this, family, please follow me. Good. Do you know that the same Red Sea, they consider the Red Sea, in that is spoken about in the Bible. The Red Sea there that is between Africa and Saudi Arabia was once called the Reed Sea. Remember, it's right there next to Kemet to you. The Reed Sea, because there was so much reed plants that was growing along the sea. In fact, the papyrus plants we're talking of. Now, again, I'm showing you that etymologically, remember, we didn't invent English, family. So those that invented English knows exactly what they're doing when they put the whole science together. So again, the papyrus plant, the plant that makes the paper, the reed plant itself, R-E-E-D, is the same plant that we R-E-A-D, the paper, to get the information. But again, R-E-A-D can be pronounced R-E-A-D, read. Like, for example, I read the book. It's spelled R-E-A-D, just like I read the book. But it's past tense. I read the book, R-E-A-D. The spelling doesn't change. Read and read, the spelling doesn't change. The Red Sea, R-E-D, red, was once called the Reed Sea, R-E-E-D, reed. And that word R-E-E-D, reed, which is the family of plants where you get papyrus paper, that word R-E-E-D, reed, is where you get the word R-E-A-D, reed, which is also pronounced R-E-A-D, red, in past tense. The same way you spell the color, R-E-D, red. And the R-E-E-D, reed, see, is now today past tense of read, considered the R-E-D, red sea. See if you can figure it out. But I'm telling you, it is etymological occult science that plays with our minds daily, not just in papyrus and read and read, in many words, if not all the words, the swords, the spells, because remember, you have to spell these words. That alone shows you that you're under a spell, you know? Yeah, spellbound. Well, welcome to Spellbound. The next person up, come on, yeah, spellbound. And this is why, again, just look at the science of writing a letter. Not the letter like an alphabetical letter, but a letter like something you put in the post box. All right, but to get there, you must start with an alphabetical letter, whether it's the letter A, B, C, or H. You start with a letter to write the address or your salutations or whatever. Whether it's S or P, you begin with a letter because the letters make the words, and the words make the sentences, and the sentences make the paragraph, and the paragraph makes the contents and the body, and then you end with your goodbye, and then you have a letter. So you began with a letter from the alphabet, which make words, etc. And then you end up with a letter, which is another form of showing you, if you know that science of the snake biting its tail. Vaughn Benjamin used that a lot in his album Expressions and in a lot of the songs that he sings, the serpent holding on to its tail, which has a lot to do with, you know, immortality and the evolution of life. It's some deep science going on right in front of our eyes when we're not aware of it. You know, pen and penitentiary, and the penal cord, yes, you know, and the pencil, you know, and the 5 points. It's some deep stuff, eh? So definitely give thanks. As I said, this is really preparation, you know, man, for Wednesday. I'm looking for everyone to be in the house on Wednesday, the 22nd day of December. You know what I mean? 2021, myself, the Honorable Princess, and the Honorable Prince. We are presenting Fairy Tale Folly Days and Nursery Crimes, the Firing Squad edition. And of course, you know that we will be also doing the day after, the Thursday, the 23rd of December, we're bringing to you the Santa Claus Mayhem, Santa Claus Massacre, really, total annihilation, that will be presented by myself. And of course, the third lecture, which will be the Sunday evening, the 26th of December, you know what to do. This is Haile Selassie Rastafari and Freemasonry. You know how to contact us. All the information is in the description below. All the links are in the description below. Email us, or you could visit the website for more information. In fact, let me just remind you too, because remember the 2nd of January is right at hand, family. And remember the 2nd of January specifically, we'll be having a wonderful expression on Radio Anu. On Radio Anu, the international flavor, that's the universal spice. And we have a special going on right now as it relates to the International Homeschool Program. I know everyone knows of the International Homeschool Program, but for sure, until the 2nd of January, pardon me, when you order the International Homeschool Program in its full entirety, that is, if you take the whole year's program, not by month, but the whole year's program, which is just $200 for the whole year's program. the International Homeschool Program. Sometimes I wonder if we understand what it entails. That's why I always encourage you to, just contact me and ask me for a free, settings, so you can at least sit down and watch it with, your significant other and say, hey, honey, what do you think? You think we should order this for the young ones? Trust me, the next significant will say yes, because you would want to do it too. So just call and email us and say, hey, I would like to get a sneak preview of the International Homeschool. It can only add family, to your family. Trust me. But anyway, between now and the 2nd of January at 10:23 a.m. Eastern Caribbean time, anything after 10:23, that is when the special will come to a seal. That's the very moment I was born, actually, 10:23. You'll get a free Tiger's Nest t-shirt. Imagine that. We mail that to you, Rasta, just for being. So if you're doing this program for your young one, well, you can just get the right size, and you can get it in another color, yellow, red. You can get it in red prints. Yes. And then what else color you can get it in? Pink. Pink. Oh, okay. I would hope so.
Whatever you want, okay?
All right. So the young prince.
They want navy blue.
Navy blue.
They want heather gray.
Heather gray. Who's she? I'm telling you. I'm okay. All right.
They want light blue.
Light blue.
Navy blue.
Okay. You said that already. Well, I don't know how much they can hear you. You're far from the mic. But anyway, so he's just giving you an idea. He is the designer of, well, basically everything you're looking at, really. The chief designer here. And there's another Tiger's Nest without the stripe. I think you could get that as well. Yes, you could get that. And that's free, family, free. That's closed, man. Free, and that's just by ordering the International, Homeschool Program before the 2nd day of January. And again, when you come to the website, you can go straight in the lecture hall, and there you could just make your payments for the lectures upcoming. When you take the 3 lectures, you get it for $50. I'm just looking for that link, but whatever the case is, family, the 3 lectures, $50, So whatever the case is, you could just email us, just for clarity, before you press these buttons. Not a problem at all. Just email us for those who want the 3 lectures, those who may just want to come to the Santa Claus Massacre, want to come to the fairy tales, those who may just want to come to Haile Selassie and Freemasonry. And please don't try to separate this one from these. Trust me, everything is well interlocked and well put together. I'm just looking forward for your presence with us. All right, give thanks continually for the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Yes, give thanks for your presence with us. All good doings and saints. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari, blessed love.